What if I told you your prostate isn't getting bigger just because you're getting older? No, it's because of something you're doing every single day. And here's the crazy part. It's something so ordinary, so routine, you don't even think about it. Yet, it's fueling your sleepless nights, that weak stream, those endless bathroom trips. Most men, they've been told it's normal. Well, you're over 60, that's just how it is. But let me be honest with you. That's not the full truth. Age alone doesn't make your prostate grow. There's a hidden trigger, a daily habit, repeated again and again, and it's quietly forcing your prostate to swell bigger and bigger. Now, here's why you should stick with me today. I'm going to tell you what that habit is. I'll break down exactly why it's so dangerous if you're over 60 and what you can do to stop it, naturally. And listen, stay with me until the very end, because I'll also share a simple 15-second bedtime ritual, a tiny little thing that many of my patients use to calm their prostate, sleep through the night, and finally wake up energized. But before we dive in, quick favor, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button. Join this community of men who want to age with strength, clarity, and confidence. And hey, while you're here, drop a comment below. Tell me, where are you watching from? I love seeing men from all over the world coming together, taking charge of their health. Let's start with something simple, but surprisingly dangerous: cutting back on water. I know what you might be thinking. Doctor, I already go to the bathroom too much. Why on earth would I drink more water? And you're right. It sounds logical to cut down. But here's the problem. When you stop drinking enough, your urine becomes concentrated, full of acids and toxins. And guess what happens? That concentrated urine irritates your bladder and your prostate, forcing them to work harder, which actually makes your symptoms worse. I had a patient, Frank, 62 years old. He told me proudly, "Doc, I fixed the problem. I barely drink water anymore." But within months, his urgency got worse, not better. The irritation was feeding the inflammation, and his prostate kept swelling. Here's the truth. Your prostate doesn't need less water. It needs cleaner, diluted urine to stay calm. By sipping water regularly, you actually reduce irritation and help your prostate relax. Now, that's just the first habit. But what happens if you spend most of your day sitting? At the desk? In the car? On the couch? That's where the real hidden danger starts. And I'll tell you exactly why in a moment. Now let's talk about another silent enemy of your prostate: sitting for long periods. Think about it. Most men over 60 spend hours every day in a chair, at the desk, in the car, in front of the TV. It feels harmless, right? But here's the catch. When you sit too long, blood flow to your pelvic area slows down dramatically. That means less oxygen, less circulation, and more pressure directly on the prostate. I remember Gary, 67, who drove long distances every week. He told me, "Doc, I don't even feel comfortable on road trips anymore. After a few hours, the pressure down there is unbearable." And he was right. The constant sitting wasn't just uncomfortable, it was literally starving his prostate of circulation, creating inflammation and fueling enlargement. Even short breaks make a difference. Standing up, stretching, walking around the room, these small moves reactivate blood flow and reduce that trapped pressure. It's simple, but incredibly powerful. But here's the shocking part. While sitting cuts off circulation from the outside, the next habit attacks your prostate from the inside. and it's hiding in your morning coffee cup. Now let's open your kitchen cabinet and look at something most men can't live without: caffeine. Coffee in the morning, maybe another cup after lunch, sometimes even a soda or tea in the evening. It feels like fuel, right? But here's what most men don't realize. Caffeine is a diuretic. That means it forces your body to produce more urine, which puts extra strain on your bladder and your prostate. And worse, caffeine also stimulates the muscles around the prostate and bladder, making that urgency and weak flow even more noticeable. Bill, a 64-year-old patient of mine, once laughed and said, "Doc, I think I've got more coffee in my veins than blood." But behind the joke, he admitted he couldn't sleep through the night and was chained to the bathroom. When he finally cut his intake in half, within weeks, he noticed fewer bathroom trips and much calmer nights. The truth is, you don't have to quit caffeine completely. Just control it. Switch your evening coffee for water or herbal tea, and your prostate will thank you. But here's the twist. While caffeine overstimulates your prostate, the next habit is even worse. It comes straight from your dinner plate. And it's something millions of men eat every single day. Let's move to the dinner table, because what you eat every day can quietly irritate your prostate more than you think. Processed foods, like sausages, deli meats, frozen dinners, and fast food, are loaded with chemicals, salt, and unhealthy fats. And spicy foods? Chili, hot sauce, peppers? They may taste good, but for many men they act like gasoline poured on an already irritated prostate. They inflame the urinary tract, trigger burning sensations, and increase that urgent need to pee. I'll never forget Tom, 66 years old. He loved his hot wings and late-night fast food runs. He thought the bathroom trips were just bad luck. But after I asked him to cut back on processed meats and tone down the spices, he was shocked. Within weeks, his bathroom visits at night dropped by half. The pressure? Almost gone. See, the prostate is like a sensitive sensor. Feed it irritation, it swells. Feed it clean, whole foods, it calms down. Fresh vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains can do more than any pill. But here's the catch. Food isn't the only daily trigger. The next bad habit comes from something most men don't do, and the longer you avoid it, the more dangerous it becomes. Here's a habit most men don't even realize is hurting them: holding in their urine too long. You know how it goes. You're busy, you're driving, or you don't feel like getting up during a TV show, so you tell yourself, "I'll wait." But every time you do this, your bladder stretches beyond its comfort zone. And the longer the urine sits there, the more pressure it puts on the prostate, irritating it, and even increasing the risk of infections. Walter, 70 years old, once told me proudly, "Doc, I've got a strong bladder. I can hold it for hours." But what he didn't know was that this so-called strength was actually damaging him. Over time, his bladder weakened, his urgency increased, and his prostate became more inflamed. The relief came only when he trained himself to go as soon as he felt the urge, instead of fighting against his own body. Your bladder and prostate are like partners. If you respect their signals, they'll work smoothly. Ignore them, and they push back hard. And while holding urine silently strains your prostate, the next habit is even darker. It poisons your body from the inside, day after day. Now, let's talk about one of the deadliest habits for your prostate: smoking. And yes, even secondhand smoke counts. Cigarettes don't just damage your lungs or your heart. The toxins travel through your bloodstream, directly affecting your prostate. They inflame blood vessels, restrict circulation, and increase oxidative stress. That means less oxygen, more inflammation, and a much higher risk of prostate problems, even prostate cancer. Henry, 65, told me once, "Doc, I quit years ago, but my wife still smokes next to me." He thought he was safe. But the truth is, secondhand smoke carries the same chemicals. When he finally asked his wife to stop smoking indoors, his symptoms started easing. Fewer flare-ups, better sleep, and a calmer prostate. Here's the harsh truth. Smoking accelerates aging in every cell of your body, and your prostate is no exception. Quitting, or even just reducing your exposure, can literally add years of healthier living. But let me warn you, while smoking poisons the prostate from the inside, the next bad habit is more subtle. It's something men skip, not realizing that this forgetfulness can cost them their future health. Here's a habit that too many men are guilty of: skipping their prostate checkups. I hear it all the time. "Doc, I feel fine, so why should I go?" Or worse, "I don't want anyone poking around down there." But here's the problem. Prostate issues don't always scream for attention at the beginning. They creep in slowly, silently, until one day the symptoms explode, and by then, treatment is harder. Joe, 68, avoided his urologist for years. He told me, "I didn't want the hassle, Doc. Besides, I thought I was too tough for that." By the time he finally came in, his prostate had grown so much that simple lifestyle changes weren't enough anymore. He needed medication, and almost surgery. Regular checkups aren't about fear. They're about prevention. A quick test, a PSA blood check, or a digital exam can spot trouble long before it becomes serious. And catching it early? That's the difference between a small adjustment and a lifetime of struggle. But here's the shocking twist. While missing checkups hides the problem, the next bad habit actually feeds the problem. And it's sitting right there on your dinner plate. Let's head back to the kitchen. Because one of the biggest hidden threats to your prostate is sitting right on your plate: red and processed meat. Steaks, burgers, bacon, sausages. They taste great. But here's the catch. They're loaded with saturated fats and compounds that trigger inflammation. Studies show that men who eat high amounts of red or processed meat have a greater risk of prostate enlargement and even prostate cancer. Why? Because these foods increase oxidative stress, fuel hormonal imbalances, and push your prostate into overdrive. Leonard, 63, was a classic meat and potatoes guy. He told me, "Doc, I can't live without my bacon breakfast and my steak dinner." But over time, his bathroom trips multiplied. When he finally swapped half of his red meat for fish and plant-based proteins, the difference was dramatic: less pressure, easier flow, and even more energy. Your prostate thrives on variety: lean poultry, fish, beans, vegetables. Balance is the key. Red meat isn't evil, but too much of it turns your prostate into a ticking time bomb. And here's where it gets even more dangerous, because the next habit doesn't just come from what you eat. It comes from the weight you carry every single day. Now let's talk about something many men try to ignore: belly fat. That stubborn weight around your waist isn't just about appearance. It's one of the biggest drivers of prostate growth. Here's why. Belly fat isn't just extra weight. It's active tissue. It pumps out hormones and inflammatory chemicals that disrupt your body's balance. More belly fat means more estrogen, less testosterone, and a constant wave of inflammation that tells your prostate to keep growing. Richard, 61, came to me frustrated. He said, "Doc, I've tried everything. I lose a few pounds, then it comes right back. But after focusing on small, consistent changes, walking 20 minutes a day, cutting sugary drinks, and adding more vegetables, his belly started shrinking. And guess what? His prostate symptoms improved too. Fewer nighttime trips, stronger flow, better energy overall. Your waistline is a window into your prostate health. The bigger the belly, the more pressure and chemical stress your prostate faces. Shrink the belly, and you calm the storm inside. But here's the most surprising part. Even if your diet is clean and your weight is under control, there's still one hidden habit that can sabotage everything. And it doesn't come from food or lifestyle. It comes straight from your mind. Finally, let's uncover the last habit. And it may surprise you. Chronic, uncontrolled stress. Most men think stress just makes them tired, maybe cranky. But inside your body, it's doing far more damage. When you're constantly stressed, your body releases high levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol throws off your testosterone balance, weakens immunity, and creates inflammation, all of which fuel prostate growth. Stephen, 65, once told me, "Doc, I'm not worried about my prostate. I'm worried about my business, my bills, my family." What he didn't realize was that his stress was the prostate problem. His symptoms always flared up during stressful weeks and calmed down when he finally started practicing simple breathing exercises and evening walks. Your mind and your prostate are more connected than you think. Stress tightens your body, disrupts circulation, and keeps your prostate on high alert. Calm your mind, and your prostate follows. Now, we've uncovered 10 silent habits, each one a trigger that can quietly fuel prostate growth. But here's the good news. You don't have to be perfect. Small, consistent changes can protect your prostate and transform your nights. And in the conclusion, I'll show you exactly how, plus the 15-second bedtime ritual I give to my own patients. You are not broken. You're not doomed just because you're over 60. What you've been dealing with isn't just bad luck or old age. It's habits, silent, everyday choices that quietly push your prostate to grow. We've uncovered 10 of them together. Cutting back on water, sitting too long, too much caffeine, processed and spicy foods, holding urine too long, smoking, skipping checkups, red and processed meat, belly fat, and yes, chronic, uncontrolled stress. The truth is simple. Your prostate isn't your enemy. It's just reacting to the way you live. And the moment you start changing these habits, even in small steps, your prostate begins to calm down. It doesn't take radical transformation. It doesn't take a long list of pills. What it takes is awareness and progress. Not perfection, just progress. And here's something powerful you can start tonight. A 15-second bedtime ritual. Before you sleep, place your hand on your lower belly, take 3 deep breaths, and slowly relax every muscle in your pelvic area. This tiny exercise reduces tension, improves circulation, and signals your body to rest, giving your prostate a break through the night. Many of my patients swear by it. Don't let anyone tell you it's too late. You're not too old and you're not powerless. The choices you make today can give you calmer nights, stronger days, and a future full of vitality. If this video helped you, please give it a like, Share it with another man who needs this message, and subscribe for more simple, science-backed ways to protect your health. And let me know in the comments, which of these 10 habits are you guilty of, and which one will you change first? Remember, don't chase perfection. Chase progress. Your prostate will thank you.